Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to DeHaven Family Farm. My name's Chris, and in today's video, we're going to work on our New Holland skid loader here. So what we're going to do today, if you're like me and you're getting a little bit older and your back is hurting more and your neck is hurting more, you need to try and find ways to ease the pain and make your day a little bit easier. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to put a backup camera or rear view facing camera, because I don't think I'm going to have it just set so that it comes on when you back up. I think I'm going to have it set so I can turn it on and off whenever I want. So we're going to put a camera system in this machine. Now, New Holland, on some of the newer models, this machine's what, 3 years old, they have a, I know, terrible view there. They have a rear view mirror in the machine, which is nice, but you can really only see kind of coming down this way. So like all the area right behind the machine, if there's animals, small children, trying to see the ramps to back off of a trailer, you can't see any of that behind you. So we'll have to figure out where we're going to put the camera. I'm thinking probably here somewhere, maybe by the door, on here. We'll just have to see. I mean, we have some holes here. Maybe we could just run bolts right through this mesh here or something somewhere. I don't know. We have to see. So I'll take you over the bench and I'll show you the camera systems that I bought. So I just went on the old eBay and picked out a couple of systems. It's this Skidsteer heavy equipment camera. It's not the fanciest ones out there. There's a couple that few YouTube channels have promoted, and those are nice cameras, but they're super expensive. So I went with something a little bit cheaper, but hopefully not the cheapest Chinese piece of crap. This has, I believe it's a 7-inch monitor with it. But it comes with, we got a whole bunch of cable here, big mounting bracket. Here's the camera itself. Not too big of a unit, but it's plastic, but it's a very heavy duty plastic. And there's our brackets. That's why I'm hoping we could just turn this down and use some of the holes that are there already. That is what they give you. So I'm just testing this out here. Doesn't really tell you anything in the instructions much about hooking it up. So I got my jump pack here. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen there. Whoops. I'm trying to hold the wire on the positive. So now I know what I need to do in order to hook everything up and how to do it. I just got to find locations for everything. So let me do that, and this should be fairly simple. The hardest part is just going to be finding a place to run the wire through the machine. So I believe I figured out where I'm going to mount this camera. I took the little screws out to take the camera off. There's a bunch of holes up here that we're going to work with, and we're just going to do the best we can. It has to go off center because the condenser for the air conditioner is up underneath here, and I do not feel like taking all of that off to get to the holes in the center. I did fire it up to make sure that the camera had a wide enough angle on it to show me what's going on over there. I was originally, obviously you want to put the thing in the middle, but that just isn't going to work out. And this stupid, I don't know what size hardware you're supposed to use with this thing. They didn't give you anything, so I had to find some of my own stuff here. But this little 7/16 fits through the hole there, but it just barely won't make it through there. I was hoping I could kind of screw the thing through, but what a pain. I don't want to use any smaller bolts than that because there's so much vibration and stuff with the machine here. All right, we got the mounting bracket bolted on there. I ended up going and drilling it out some because I got tired of fighting with it. So we can put this camera on now. If you notice, I did actually, the holes are slotted, so you can turn this bracket. And because we're off center, I did actually take it and turn it a little bit that direction. If I don't like it after, I can always change it. But one of the reasons that I chose this side was because there's a hole here already that I can shove this down through. Okay, there we go. We got that temporarily mounted. We'll have to adjust it however we want to adjust it after. But unfortunately now what I have to do is, in order to run the wire into the cab, I looked and I can't see any clear, easy way to shove it through there. So we're gonna have to actually tip the cab up, and yeah, so that's annoying, but that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to take, there's two bolts you take out, and then the whole cab flips forward. Okay, I got the two nuts, and I don't know, it looks like a big fat washer. Let's see if I can heave this thing up. All right, let me bring you guys up to speed where we're at here. So as you saw, we kind of got this camera mounted up here. Don't mind all the zip ties I haven't cut yet. Ended up putting the wire in wire loom, and I just ran it down, followed some other wires, came down through, more zip ties to be cut all the way down and around, and then over here there was actually a little spot in the cab that had a hole. I will have to put a grommet in there for where the wire comes through. So what I'm working on right at the moment is the rest of this wire here. This goes up to the screen up there. So I got to get power here, and I thought I might cheat. And I had one of these little 12-volt plugs here, and I thought I might just use that because that was just going to be the easiest thing to do. So using this auxiliary here was going to be easy. The problem with that is that it is on all the time, so I need to find power somewhere that basically is keyed, so it only comes on when you start the machine or push the start button or whatever. So that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm going to close the cab back down, and that way I can sit in the machine and kind of see about some power and finish getting this buttoned up here. Well, I'm getting closer to getting this wrapped up here. I was able to find some power to tap into that comes on only when the machine's going. Like, it doesn't have a key, so I can't say in the on position, but you know what I mean. So basically right now what we've got left is wires right here. I've got to finish getting all these coiled up nice and neatly, and I'm going to tuck them back in the corner. And I got some of these, they're just kind of plastic wire holders, and I'm gonna try and put some of them. There was some screws I took out, one here and one here, so we can try and tidy up this wiring here that goes up to the monitor. So let me finish that up, and I'll show you the system when we're all done here. All right, I think we're about done here. Just got to remember there's It's kind of like a spacer washer. I don't know what you want to call it. Goes up here, then the nut, and you tighten that nut down. It says 125 foot-pounds in the book. I'm not sure how to get it to 125 foot-pounds. So we'll just tighten it down as best we can. All right, I think I'm all done unless something explodes. I got the camera. I put some wire loom here just so where it goes down through it doesn't rub. And we got all the wires zip tied, zip ties cut. There we go. I think I have this adjusted pretty well. On the screen in the cab, even though that camera is angled that way, you can still see both sides of the garage door on the screen. So I think it's going to be all right. I may still have to adjust it a little bit, but our wires run down underneath, got the cab secured down, the door put back on, the boom down. So let me hop in here and I'll show you this. Block your ears because it's going to beep. Okay, so this machine doesn't have a key, so we hit the power button and then the screen comes on. I don't know if you guys can, there you go. So you can see both sides of the garage door. The numeric distance there, it said in the ad when I bought the cameras that you can turn that off. I just didn't do it yet. I really haven't played with any of the settings there at all. I just tried to get the thing installed. And if it's annoying, you know, too bright or something, we can just turn it off. Somehow. All right, so I found something out here about this camera system. As you maybe saw in the clip there, I tried hitting the power button and it didn't turn off or do anything. So what I found out about these camera systems, you know, I bought two. I have one for another piece of equipment. So I went and played with it on the bench. And none of the buttons on the monitors will work if the backup camera is energized. So in other words, if the camera in the back is bringing picture to that screen, then all that screen's going to do is show that picture. So the way I had originally wired this was that the camera in the back was on all the time. So that means I couldn't ever push any of those buttons or change any of the settings. So to me, that's kind of goofy, but you know, whatever it is. So what I did was I ran to Napa and I had to undo a bunch of my wiring here, but I got a switch so that if I need to change settings on the screen, I can turn the flow of power off to the camera in the back. So let's go ahead here. I'm going to hop in and let's see if this works now. So what we're going to do is we'll push our power button here to just get the power on. Okay, so there, the screen's on. That's power. There's menu. None of the buttons work. You can hear them clicking. So let's go down here a second. Here's my switch. I still have to clean all the wiring up. So let's flick that. That should cut power to the camera in the back. Yep, there we go. And now we have a white screen here. So now I should be able to hit, yep, there's power and menu. Yep, okay. So then if I need to access any of these settings, I can just simply flick that switch. Or if for some reason I want the camera system off completely, I can hit the switch and then hit the button and turn it off. My idea is to have it on all the time. Just, you know, when you get working on projects, it's a lot of back and forth. So you may as well just have the thing on. So what I can do now is go in and change some of the settings. And then when I'm done changing the settings, we will flip our switch back on. Camera comes back on and be good to go. So I'm going to clean all this up here and tuck it just down underneath there. I don't anticipate having to turn this on and off very much at all, but the switch will be right down here accessible to where I need it to be. So minor change to the wiring process, but just wanted to update you so everybody kind of knew what was going on if you were putting in a similar system. So there you have it, guys. One of those 2-hour projects that did not take 2 hours. I think I've spent 4 to 4.5 hours on this project today. Definitely took longer than I thought it was going to. Some of it was just the unknowns. The camera system was different than the ones I'd installed before, and then having to put the cab up, not being able to find a little area to sneak through. But in the end, I got it all done. Hopefully it'll work out well. I'll see how long the system holds up. And hopefully if any of you out there want to install a similar system on your machine, maybe this will give you a little bit of guidance or idea on what to do, where to run wires, things like that. So thanks everybody for watching. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe and the bell icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. And hey, I hope to see you all in the next video.